A Chat with Glendora. It's on right now. And what does Ryan say? No! You want to know something, folks? You can't get cable TV at Cablevision. Cablevision doesn't have cable TV. Glendora says to Franklin, we have won so many chapters today. We have shown the world exactly what these people are. We have shown them for what they are. So while they have all going away with their tails between their legs, because they have broken a law, and they know fully well they've broken a law, and they know fully well they're going to be sued for that. Everything's quiet. And then after they've all gone except one toy soldier, that would be Paul Ryan, Glendora says to Franklin, of September 30th. Now that's very old. Now this is Gestapo Paul Ryan coming over. Are you going to leave the building? Are you refusing to leave the building? And Glendora won't even acknowledge him. Okay? Glendora's there on shareholder business to see the shareholders list, and she's staying there until she sees it. Dolan, Charles F. Dolan, at the meeting said that the inspectors of election were Sylvan Crawford and Frank Les, and he never, his diction is not good, and he doesn't project, so you don't know what he said. But that's the way he wants it, you know. More cover up is better. Everything that you can cover up. Don't let him know what we're doing. Don't let him see what we're doing. These are the people from Chase Mellon Shareholder Services who are so rinky-dink they don't have business cards. This is Paul Ryan. So you see, Paul Ryan went away, because I'm not going to answer the question. That made Franklin laugh. When I went into the shareholders meeting and Charles Foreman says, all right, Mr. Dolan, you can start your meeting now, meaning that Glendora was here. Can you believe it? They wouldn't start the meeting. They were holding up, well, there were only 5 or 6 people there. The rest were all toy soldiers. So Charles Foreman said, Mr. Dolan, you can start your meeting now. And so I sat down in front on the aisle, and one toy soldier, whom I never met, started to move me. And another toy soldier came down the stairs and no, leave her there. Crazy people. Who did the seconding? Former. All the little toy soldiers.
Make the motion. After Rita, toy soldier. And then, he said it was wrong, and then Sal House came to sit it later. And, Roland stepped back. And then, South House said the polls are open. Okay, and I said discussion. No discussion. Vote on the adjourn. And, discussion was, under inaction, so now we like.
That's big fat Tony LaSalle, who's about as most Gestapo of them all of them. And he's come and he's telling us to leave now. And I keep talking to Franklin. I'll play that back for you. Are you leaving now?
Discussion was, under inaction, so now we like.
Typically LaSalle, by your inaction you are not leaving. Toy soldiers.
No discussion. And then she said, it has been carried. Okay? It has been carried.
This is Cell House who said that. And the polls are closed.
I said, no discussion. Why is the meeting adjourned? Why? He said,
Charles Dolan called for proxies, and there weren't any proxies. The proxies were for the November 10th meeting, which was adjourned, which was canceled. And so he was asking for proxies for this meeting. And I'd never had a proxy for this meeting, December 8th. And so I wanted that clarified. And Sal House said that you had to have a proxy for this meeting too. Minutes later, she reversed herself. She's always wrong. And she reversed herself and did a volte-face. No, I didn't have to have a proxy for this meeting. I asked Dolan, I wanted to know why was the November 10th meeting canceled? Why was this meeting canceled? And Dolan says, well, as we said in our press release, and I don't think they did, he said, we may have other offers. And I said to Dolan that a press release is not a notice to shareholders.
and I said, a press release is not a notice to shareholders. Consider other offers. Well, what offer?
Yeah, what offers? What offers, folks? Don't we have a right to know? About 10:09 a.m. And it was held all up by former forcing me to sign a paper that I could not read in a paper for which he did not produce any rules. No motion to adjourn, no second to a motion to adjourn, and no vote to adjourn. It's all railroaded by Charles F. Dolan. These notes are all written on the back of the Delaware law, which Cablevision just ignores. Yeah, did you know that? Did you know that Cablevision is above the law? Did you know that? Did you know that Cablevision owns you? Yes. Cablevision owns you. They own on Long Island. They own Newsday. They own the New York Law Journal. They own everybody on Long Island. They are the kings of Long Island. And you are their subjects. Charles Dolan would not let me take my file box. Those are my files. So the picture is now. I had no chance, I'm saying to Franklin. This is my shareholder certificate. I wanted to show it to Dolan and ask him, is anything here going to change? If this rainbow, this wicked rainbow tracking stock goes through. And then through all of their harassment of this shareholder, I did not have a chance to hand in my objections to the rainbow tracking stock. I had a copy for myself and a copy for Charles F. Dolan, and they kept me from handing that in. And the name of it is, I hate, loathe, despise, abhor, and detest the rainbow tracking stock proposal. And as we left the theater, coming up the stairs, the aisle is like that. It's like a pit, I'll say, a snake pit. And coming up the stairs, behind me was Charles Dolan. And I did not speak to him. Last time, I shook his hand and wished him well. But this time, no. Now we know where it's coming from. It's coming from Charles F. Dolan. For years, I've given that man the benefit of the doubt and counted him as a friend. I no longer want him as a friend. Okay, continue my, all the time we're waiting, the fakers are going to call the police. I asked to see the shareholders list, and their answer is to call the police. How's that? Is that America? Is that America? Is that Christmas? I'm not wearing the recorder, so it isn't very plain what's being said. Obama notarized his own paper. That's more Cablevision incest. So Franklin and I discussed what happened. Franklin was wrongfully kept from the meeting. What God has joined asunder, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. What God has joined together, let no man put asunder. So Franklin, the report is all over to Franklin, and I'm not going to get the shareholders list, so we get up to leave. So that's number 71 demand that is violated. Glendora says to Franklin, "Are you ready to go?" And so we get up to go to leave. Just as we do, guess what comes in through the door? A Nassau County police sergeant in a cruiser. So Franklin packs up, and I take my file box out and I put it on the post next to the 20-foot wooden toy soldier. They're all wooden. They're all wooden. And I come back and I get my copy machine. "You ready to go?" Glendora says to Franklin. And I help Franklin put his scarf on and button his coat and get his gloves on. And the static electricity makes his pants wrinkle. So I pulled the pant leg down to the shoe. And we went out the door. And Franklin stood by the post, guarding the file box and guarding the copy machine with the 3 wooden toy soldiers 20 feet tall, in the spirit of Christmas, peace and goodwill. So all the time, Gestapo Paul Ryan, is watching us, and the cop is watching us. I asked to see the shareholder list, and the answer is call the police. Now, call the police is a good idea, because they all should have been arrested for violating a New York state law, and they all should be fined and put in jail. So Franklin stays there with the file box and the copy machine. I cut across the lawn, no geese. And I go to the car, and I get the automobile, and I drive it up. And by then, there's 2 cruisers. You see, Nassau County has money to throw away, right? They aren't there out protecting you against serious crime. They're out there fooling around with the people who have the money, the donors. So silly. Oh, they showed exactly what they are. Sorry about that. That's the 11th day of this congestion. So the 2 cruisers were a traffic hazard, a vehicle hazard on the curve. You could hardly get by them, so they could park the car, get the copy machine into it, and get the file box into the back seat, take care of Rusty. And so we went out of their property and across Stewart and parked on the service road, the service street, on public property. And there I videotaped the 2 cruise cars, and I videotaped the new hirees are the 3 toy wooden soldiers 20 feet tall outside the door, celebrating Christmas, peace, and goodwill. We celebrate that with soldiers. That's the Dolan mindset. Glendora's walking toward the car to get the car. The congestion in the throat appeared every 15 minutes practically for about 7 days. This is going across Stewart Avenue. That's the terror of that street. These are the chimes of the Lincoln. Franklin getting in first, getting the file box in. Getting in the copy machine, which terrorizes them. A recorder, a camera, or a copy machine terrorizes them because they know they're doing wrong and they know they're getting caught. Lenny talking to Rusty. So we got all three into the car, Franklin, the file box, and the copy machine, and we drove around, as I say, on the side street facing Cablevision so we could see the whole thing. We videotaped the cruisers and we videotaped the toy soldiers. And we videotaped Glendora's picket signs. Dolan cheats. Or Dolan's cheat. Dolan's cheat. Fire former. So we got all three into the car, Franklin, the file box, and the copy machine, and we drove around, as I say, on the side street facing Cablevision so we could see the whole thing. We videotaped the cruisers and we videotaped the toy soldiers. And we videotaped Glendora's picket signs. Dolan cheats. Or Dolan's cheat. Dolan's cheat. Fire former. So the two cops and Ryan did nothing. They had no cause to be there. It was Nassau County taxpayer waste at a time when Nassau County was about to be taken over by the state for bankruptcy. And these things happen because the Dolans are getting the property at Bethpage for $33 million a year, no taxes. Maybe it's $30 million a year, no taxes. See, they're too rich to pay taxes. You... So I did. Tuesday, December 5th, before this Friday, December 8th that you just heard, Charles Dolan tried to get Franklin to discourage Glendora from coming all the way to Westchester to go to the meeting because it's going to be just the same as the November 10th meeting. But you don't think that Glendora is going to let that go by. No, no way. Glendora had to see it. Thence, we went to Woodbury to see the public file. December 5th, Tuesday, there was infraction, federal infraction. Kathleen refused to show Franklin the public file. A public file, by federal mandate, has to be available to the public from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It doesn't matter whether Jeff Clark is there or not, or who is there. The public file has to be available. That is a federal mandate, and this was a federal infraction. So, V was her usual cheerful self, and very, very helpful. And before you could blink an eye, here was the public file down in a conference room. And we were very comfortable from 11 o'clock until 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we finished the first drawer. How do we know? We don't see the public file. It's brought down to us in pieces. We don't see the public file. And I think that's wrong, too. But we did see the equal employment opportunity. How many people were hired, how many people were working there, how many of them were minorities, and how many, and what percentage, and how many of them were women. And it was interesting to notice that 2 people were let go because they were security risks. In other words, they knew things. They'd seen things. Why do people have to be like that? Why can't they be honest and moral and ethical? Why do they have to cheat and steal and lie and cover up? Why? Is that the only way you can make money? Is to steal and cheat and lie and cover up? You can't make money honorably? And so it was a very successful visit of the public file. And apparently we have drawer number 2 to go, which was as long as drawer number 1, and another half drawer. But this is only for Cablevision, the Long Island system. It's not for all the others, and it's not for corporate. So that was about our 12th or 14th visit. People were very pleasant and gave us food to eat. And poor Rusty, something about the cold weather. I went out in the car and he was shivering. And I left him my great big coat. And he, instead of sleeping on it, he was sleeping on the seat, which is not warm. It's not the 1980. The 1980 is warm. The 1993 is not like that. Well, I fixed him up anyhow. And I had taken his lunch. I had packed his lunch. It's easy to pack his lunch. You take a bag and you put in his dish and you put in a can opener and you pull in a fork and you put in napkins and you put in his dinner. And you give it to him. So he ate that with... And I watched public access while I was doing the public file. That was fun. But I missed the Chat with Glendoras that were on. The 4 programs, the Chat with Glendora that were on. I missed them all. Bob Clement came down. Bob Clement, he's very good looking. I think he's very good looking. And he brought me down 12 specials that had been cable cast. And there are only 7 specials left. And